So I learned way too late the truth about scientific publications. I wrote this paper, a comparison of J. Scott Armstrong's Arthur's formula in comparison to style metamorphosis. It's not published on Vixar, but I'll put it on there when it comes up. Basically, it's a 6-step thing to make sure you do to get your papers published in scientific journals and go through the peer review process unscathed, to where they put your writing on there and there's not a problem. It's actually opposite with what I believe to be true about science and what it really was. Number 1, don't pick important problems. Number 2, don't challenge existing beliefs. Number 3, don't obtain surprising results. 4, don't use simple methods. 5, don't provide full disclosure. And number 6, don't write clearly. They're basically the antithesis of what I thought science was. I thought you were supposed to pick important problems. I thought you were supposed to at least challenge some beliefs, not all of them, but at least a little bit of them. I thought you were supposed to obtain surprising results, or results that changed the way people looked at the world around them, at least a little bit. I thought they were supposed to use simple methods for determining what was factual, so it could be repeated in other experiments along the line. If you use something that's too complicated, they wouldn't be repeatable experiments. They would always fail repeatedly. Number 5, provide full disclosure. I thought when you write scientific articles, you're supposed to tell people where the hell you got all the information from so they can work on it themselves. But no, that runs counter to actual scientific publication. You don't want to provide full disclosure. You want people to know where you got your information from. And writing clearly. I thought that it was essentially the most important thing out of all this. If you're going to write a scientific article, you should be writing clearly so people can understand what the fuck you're talking about. But that's not the truth. The truth is they want people to fog everything up with meaningless words, jargon, mathematical equations that nobody really understands. That's how you get papers published. You do exactly the opposite of what people think science is. That way you're not threatening any careers, and you can go along your path in your career and move your way up the ladder, so to speak. And in essence, challenging beliefs, number 2 here. Mr. Armstrong sums up perfectly. To challenge existing beliefs is folly. If you want a career in the sciences, do not challenge people. Do not challenge their beliefs. Do not challenge the status quo. Keep your head low so nobody sees you, and write papers that nobody can understand, and don't let anybody know where you got all the information, and make sure that the results aren't surprising. Make sure everybody already believes those results are going to happen. And make sure the problems that you choose are completely irrelevant. They don't solve anything. And use very, very, very complex methods. The more complex, the better. That way, nobody can repeat what it is you're talking about, and nobody can do the experiments that you do. This is something that I wish I would have known, but looking at it for what it is, I'm glad I went through what I went through, because now I fully have come full circle with this realization that science is not what people think it is at all. At all. It's about forming communities where they can protect themselves from outsiders. They can protect their income, they can protect their prestige, they can protect their beliefs and their worldviews. They're similar to like unions in a way, where they only are looking out for themselves. They're not looking out for human understanding and of spreading awareness of what all this shit is. They're all about making a group and keeping together and not throwing each other under the bus. Here I am, willingly throwing these people under the bus, stating that they don't even have the basics of astrophysics right. I'm never going to have a paper published in an academic journal. Ever. It's never going to happen. I'm never going to receive any awards for this. I'm never going to get credit for this. Basically, the only people that understand this in the real world are people who question the assumptions that these large organizations are presenting and are saying, this doesn't make any sense, and then they find me. Or people that are writing about this theory, or people like me. That's the only way change can really happen. Because these systems, they're designed not to change. They're designed to force stagnation so that people can get promoted inside their careers. And that they have a safe, secure job to put food on the table. Anyways, I worded it a bit differently in here. But, you can read that yourself. I'll link this to the bottom, as well as the original J. Scott Armstrong paper with the Arthur's formula on there. Alright, you guys, take it easy.